Good morning, everyone. I'm Sergeant Manthey. I'm a U.S. Army recruiter here in Melrose Park, Illinois. We have Private Cahill here on a Hometown Recruiter Assistance Program. He's here helping out the recruiting office, talking to people, letting them know a little bit how his views of basic training AIT went. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to have him introduce himself, and then we're going to do a little Army interview, ask him a couple questions that people usually ask us. We've been out of the basic training and AIT for a while now. I'm going on 6+ years, and a lot of the recruiters in here will be doing a little bit over 10 years. So we want to give you fresh sources from, he just recently graduated and he's about to go to Fort Hood for his duty station. All right, let's get started with the interview. Private Cahill, can you introduce yourself real quick?
Yes, as I said, I'm a Private Cahill. I just came from Fort Sill, graduated basic training and AIT. Spent the last about 8 months since November 18th in Fort Sill. Came here for A-Trap, and I'm going on to Fort Hood after this.
All right, let's get started with this interview. All right, so for you, when you first came into office, describe to me how the process went when you wanted to join the Army.
The process was actually really simple once I actually came to the recruiting station. They had everything squared away. I took a practice ASFAB, and once you pass that, they send you on to take the real ASFAB, where you learn what MOS, what career fields are right for you. They ask you what you're interested in, give you different choices for what you might be interested in. After that, you'll go to MEPS, you'll take a medical screening, a physical, just baseline to make sure you're ready to ship out the basic training. And then after that, if there's a time between when you're shipping, you'll do the Future Soldier Training Program, which you'll come in and the recruiters will just teach you the basics about basic training in the Army. Maybe do a little PT, just learn some basic knowledge facts. After that, you'll go to MEPS one last time for a final medical screening right before you ship. You'll spend a night at a nice hotel, all paid for. You'll have a nice dinner and breakfast, all paid for. Next morning, they'll send you to the airport, and you'll be on your way to basic training.
All right, that sounds good. That's pretty correct. A lot of these questions I'm going to ask you, I want your honest opinion. Everything you tell me exactly how you feel about it or how it went for you. All right. One thing I'd like to start off with is a question a lot of people do ask. How was your first week of basic combat training?
Well, the first week is actually reception, which is just paperwork, getting shots. It's really boring. They'll teach you some basic stuff like how you're supposed to talk to drill sergeants, how you're supposed to interact with drill sergeants. But once you actually get to the real basic training, you'll get a drill sergeant will come onto your bus. Your real drill sergeant, which you'll spend basic training with. There'll be mass chaos. There'll be bags getting thrown. You'll be doing push-ups. You're not going to know why. First day's going to be mass chaos. But after that, you'll learn your drill sergeants more. You'll start doing PT. First week you're probably going to do some team building exercises, some obstacle courses. You might even do the rappel tower. Doing a rope rappel off a 40-foot tower, and just start getting into the grind of things.
All right. Now that you've gone through it, you've completed basic training in AIT. What are some of the things that you think you should bring?
Well, I would recommend the recruiter will give you a list of things to bring, but I would recommend trying to bring as little as possible. As far as change of clothes, 1-2 max changes of clothes, because the first day you get to reception, they're going to give you your Army PT uniform and uniforms that you're going to be wearing from there on out. You're not going to be able to wear civilian clothes, so all that stuff's just going to get in the way. Definitely, if you're a male, you're going to want to bring a disposable razor, no electric razors, because you're not allowed to use those in basic training. They're going to make you shave the first day you're there, and if you don't have a razor, they're going to make you borrow from someone else, and it's not going to be a nice experience. Definitely your basic hygiene stuff, toothbrush, deodorant, stuff like that.
All right. So other than what the stuff you should bring to basic training, what are some of the ways that you could prepare for basic training before you ship off?
Well, for the most part, in basic training, they're going to teach you exactly what you need to know for rifle marksmanship. Like, at least for me personally, I never fired a weapon before I went in. I was nervous about that, but they teach you the basics of everything. You're going to learn how to climb a rope, shoot a weapon, throw grenades, stuff like that. So as far as preparing, the best thing you can do to prepare is just make sure you're working on PT every day before you come in. Make sure you're good at push-ups, you're good at running. That's something you can certainly prepare for while you're waiting to ship out.
All right, so overall, throughout the basic training, it was 10 weeks. what would you say basic training is like in a brief description for anyone that would ask you?
You know, it's just you learn something new every day, whether it's going to the grenade range, doing different obstacle courses, going to the rear range, the real rifle range, going out on FTX, staying outside, learning different battle drills, learning how to march. Just every day you're going to be learning something new. Every day it's going to be intense with the drill sergeants, but you're still going to have a good bit of fun while you're there.
All right, so everyone has their personal likes about it. In your opinion, what would be your favorite part about basic training?
I'd say the favorite part for me would just be all the people and the camaraderie, with all the different people you're meeting. You know, even though you only spend a couple months with these people, you're spending 24 hours a day with them. You know, you're sleeping in the same room, you're doing exercises together, you're getting yelled at together, getting smoked together. So you just really build a strong friendship with all the people in your platoon, the people you meet in basic training. All
right. Now, to counteract that, and the question I know a lot of people do want to know, what was the worst part about basic training?
For me, the worst part was just the last couple weeks, just the grind of things. You know, every day, waking up early, eating MREs, sleeping out on the field on FTX. You know, the last couple weeks, you start grinding on you. But once you realize, graduation is right around the corner, you're able to get past that and have a good time.
All right. And a lot of people have their views of basic training from what they see on TV or from their, friends that have gone to basic training and joined the Army. All right. To you, do you think basic training is hard?
It's really not that hard. As long as you're good at PT, you come into basic training in good shape. I mean, they're going to get you in better shape, but if you come in good shape, you really got nothing to worry about because they're going to teach you everything you need to know. But if you're constantly worrying about, oh, am I going to pass my PT test? Oh, drill sergeants are not knocking on you for not being in shape, not passing your PT test, then you're going to have a hard time. But as long as you come in good shape, you should be good to go.
Okay. All right, so all the stuff that you've done already, you've already gone through the process, completed basic training, gone through AIT. Would you do it again? Do you think it's worth it?
It's certainly worth it. Pack a lot of knowledge. They put a lot on you in the few months that you're there, and you have a lot of fun in the process. Basic training is probably some of the most fun I ever had. Made some great friends there. Certainly would do it again.
All right, so what you're saying is the benefits outweigh all the stress and
Definitely.
Stuff you went through. Okay. All right, so you also did go, you completed basic training, and you had your family come out there. How did your basic training and graduation go for you?
Graduation for basic training is, it's very professional. You spend a few days practicing. You gotta sit perfectly still. Everything is, you gotta march perfectly. You're gonna look good because you're gonna be wearing your ASUs, your Army Service uniform. There's gonna be a lot of important people there, not just your family. You're gonna have colonels there. You're gonna have your captains, command sergeant majors. A lot of high-ranking people are gonna be watching you, and you gotta walk across that stage. You gotta look good. You gotta march perfectly, make your face movements, and you just gotta look good through the whole thing.
All right. So after basic training, obviously you go off to your job training, which is called AIT. It's Advanced Individual Training. So a little brief description. What do you consider AIT to be?
Yeah, AIT, you'll go on to it after basic training, and it's more of I'd say more of a college atmosphere where you're not just training all day like you're doing basic training. You're still doing PT in the morning, but you're going to school, you're learning your job, what you're going to be doing in the Army. You're going to be living in dorms. You're not going to be, for the most part, you're in AIT, you're going to be living in dorms. You're not going to be living in, the big barrack room, a big bay. Learn your job every day. You're going to be learning what you're going to be actually doing in the real Army once you get out of initial entry training.
Okay. And I'm assuming you made friends and all that fun stuff. What was it like? Was it more relaxed or is it harder? Explain a little bit more.
Yeah, AIT is definitely more privileges. You get to go out on the weekends. You get to eat civilian food, wear civilian clothes on the weekends. You get a lot more privileges in BCT. You can have your cell phone on you, have computers, play video games, order food, all sorts of stuff like that, while still being in the Army, still being in an Army atmosphere.
All right, that's good. Is there anything else you'd like to add to this before we end this interview?
I'd say just don't I mean, you're going to naturally be nervous leaving home during the Army if you're going off to basic training. But I'd say just remember, I mean, it's really not that bad. Millions of people have gone through it before you, and you'll get through it too.
All right. So that's all we have right now for Private Cahill. We got more people coming in. You'll have more personal stories or experiences to see later on. If you can, just follow us on YouTube. We're going to try and post as many videos as we possibly can. And congrats to Private Cahill. We're glad to have you here. And we'll see you guys later.